Welcome to this episode of In My Own Words, the last episode of 2022, and what a year it's been. I had so much fun bringing you guys along to conventions, events, and really being able to show you everything that I'm doing, all the books that I've been reading and writing, and everything that's coming in the very near future. I want to share my experience of the Horror Sideshow Holiday Market. I had a ton of fun. A small one-day event. I was able to sell a bunch of books. I was able to meet a bunch of new people, including someone who already invited me to an event in February who is also involved with someone I've met at Hungry for Horror. I was also able to meet an author who I greatly appreciate, and we actually exchanged books, and he's very kind to me, and we got to talk a lot about everything that we're working on. So thank you to Mark. And I'm looking forward to potentially doing another holiday market show or another horror sideshow market show. The main purpose of this episode is to really give you a recap of everything that I've learned throughout the year. Specifically, I wanted to start with the conventions or the events that I did. Each of them taught me something new, and they were all so valuable in their own experiences that I thought it was beneficial to not only myself but to you to see if you're an author who wanted to do more conventions or events, you would be able to get a little piece of value from each one. AuthorCon, the show back in April, was probably the most important show of the year for me. I was able to meet authors who I had either heard their names, or put faces to their names. And not only was I able to be in a room with dozens of authors who I had grown to admire, I was also able to be a part of the Scares That Care charity portion of the show. So since Scares That Care gives back to people who are less fortunate, I was able to donate some stuff to be sold in an auction that will benefit those people. And I was able to meet the people who are behind the scenes of the charity event. But it's also a big sense of community, from the people involved in the charity to the authors to the people who are running the convention, and being able to network and talk to authors and readers who greatly admire each other. I learned to talk as much as possible and to read as much as possible from all these different names who each give something of value to me. To be able to have a one-on-one conversation with someone who I've been reading for a long time or had met for the first time was so important to me, and it was my first opportunity to vend and to be able to learn how to do it and to kind of pick little pieces of people and see what benefited them and which I can bring to my own table and expand on myself. I already have a table for next March/April, so I'm going to be bringing you along to that, but easily the most important event of 2022. Living Dead weekend was probably the most fun I had at a convention. I was able to be in the presence of the Monroeville Mall. I was able to be in the presence of actors who were in Dawn of the Dead, and I was able to be among authors who I wasn't able to talk to at AuthorCon who were also at this event. I met people who influenced me as a kid. I met people who had grown to influence me of recent years, and I was able to be among the fans of the zombie genre as much as I am. So to be able to bring a zombie book to a convention like that was truly an experience I'll never forget, and to be overwhelmed with the zombie genre in a crucial location for the zombie genre was overwhelming. And I'm so excited to go back in 2023 and bring my table back. So I'll be keeping you updated on that, but be sure to be there at Living Dead weekend in 2023. Pennsylvania HorrorCon, although it was slower, I did have a lot of fun. I was able to, talk to my editor. I was able to meet new people. I was able to really get to experience a slower show that, I'd be able to film a little bit at more, really get to connect to a different crowd. Now, it was Pennsylvania HorrorCon was related to New Jersey HorrorCon and the Horror Sideshow markets, and they are something of their own caliber. So having a smaller, more comfortable, intimate event or convention to go to I highly recommend them. They're not overwhelming, they're not stressful, they're just very low key. You get to experience a little bit of the celebrities and you get to experience a little bit of the crowd. Now, this might be another one that I might experience next year. I did have a great time at the Horror Sideshow Market, and I have yet to experience the New Jersey HorrorCon, but we'll see, and I'll be updating you if there's more potential for those next year. The CT Horror Fest, or Connecticut Horror Fest, is still the biggest event that I've been to. Going as a fan last year and vending this year really taught me that there is a big horror community in the Connecticut area, and next year it's even going to a bigger venue. So I'm excited to expand to that. I'm going to be bringing new stuff next year. So having a large audience like that and having an audience that will read a lot is very motivating to not only go back to those shows, but to show you that even if you have a smaller show previously, it's only going to be leading up to a bigger show. Any small show will always lead to a bigger show. And being able to talk to people who I had met before, another author who was at AuthorCon, and a second author who I have known online, being able to have that one-on-one conversation in person is so important. So the CT Horror Fest is a big one that if you're a horror author and you're watching this, I highly encourage you to get on board with that. I have told authors who are more experienced than I to get involved. It's a show that will benefit almost anyone. So make sure you stay tuned. I will be booking one of those tables again for the September timeframe. So make sure you're subscribed and you'll hear more about that soon. Hungry for Horror was a small event that I was invited to by an author who I greatly admire. We were able to give back to a community who was less fortunate, but also having an experience of intimate conversation and being able to sell our books to people who were coming to help out and support the cause. There is word of expanding next year, but I did want to share that even though it was an event with remarkable book sales, it was something that I was happy to help out at and happy to give back at, and being able to have conversations with people I admire and being invited by people I admire was very near and dear to me, and I will certainly be doing that next year. I plan to help expand that, bring along other authors from the New York area as it was set in Port Jervis. So I'll be updating you with that. That will probably be in the October timeframe, a little bit before Halloween. So stay tuned for that. It was a great cause, and it's going to be something that's going to benefit even more people next year. Monster Mania was a big show, and although this was the first Monster Mania in Oaks that I've attended, I did get a lot of value from it. I was able to, again, see a lot more people that I've done previous conventions with. I was in a big setting, and I was in a setting with a lot of big names attached to it. Now, it was my second biggest show as far as book sales, but it did have very slow points. And the one thing that was crucial to me was that a big audience will get eyes on your table, no matter if they buy them or not. But having people around you, being able to talk to them and have those conversations and hopefully build relationships, you will get a little bit out of each other that the smaller ones may not give you. Having a lot of people come and see you, despite if they leave with a book or not, is so important to exposure. They're going to remember that conversation, they're going to remember how you spoke to them, and they're going to remember that book cover that they may or may not have picked up. And although I'm not sure if I'll be doing the Oaks one specifically, I do want to stay in the Monster Mania realm for a very long time. The shows have always offered something of extreme value to me, and I actually was introduced to the horror events and horror conventions through Monster Mania. So it's going to be more frequent. It's going to be at least once or twice a year. I'm looking to get on either the Cherry Hill show next year or the Maryland show. So as soon as I hear news about that, I will be giving you updates, and it's going to be a lot of fun next year as well. Lastly, the Horror Sideshow Market. It taught me about having the little bits of excitement to enjoy. Not having to worry about the hotel or packing up and unpacking every day was something that I can have a little bit less stress about and really focus on telling people about my books and selling books. The one-day events really give you the benefits of the weekend without the added stress of hotel and travel and being away from home. You can go there and then have a great day, and then you can just go right home immediately after. I think they have a lot of potential to get even bigger, and I know that there's already one on the way in February. I will keep you posted on if I'm able to get onto the February show, so stay tuned. Probably the most important thing I learned this year was to keep up with readers, keep up with writers, and make sure that you're reading as much as possible. Not only are you providing value for the writers to their audiences when you read their book and review it, but you're also potentially opening the door for them to do the same for you. And the sense of community of them sharing excitement for you, or them motivating you, or them giving you their time to encourage you or open a door that you may not have been able to open yourself is so important for both of you. It really keeps you in the loop, and it's what really keeps you aware of what's going on. It's so important to get eyes on our books and to get more books so we can either write more or go to events more or provide for our families. It really matters to keep up with ourselves, to keep up with one another, and to keep up with people who support us. And I've told you guys a million times, I'll tell you again how grateful I am for all the support you've given me, and I wouldn't be able to even sit in front of this camera if it wasn't for you guys watching me once a month and motivating me to keep doing it. I've learned to be a little bit more confident because of this, because of my writing, because of the words that you guys have given me about my writing. And it means the world to me that I'm able to do this in my free time, and I'm able to have so much fun doing this, and I'm able to type away at a keyboard and being able to excite people with what I'm doing. So again, from the bottom of my heart, for the holiday season, I want to say thank you. And you guys give me much more than I ever expected, and I have so much more to give back in 2023. I have a lot of big announcements in 2023, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. Since it's the end of the year, I have some downtime to be able to plan 2023 and really dive into what I want to do next year. As of right now, I have 3 big projects that I plan on releasing, and I'm going to give you a lot of updates in January about what's coming. Specifically one that, if I'm able to pull it off, I'll be able to live out one of my dreams of getting one of my favorite artists of all time to do my book cover. Now, I can't really give any more details about that right now, but there will be a little travel incorporated. So towards the end of next year or a year from now, you'll be able to see a lot more of that. So I'll be keeping you posted, but make sure you're subscribed and make sure you're watching all my updates. A lot of people here have gotten me to this point, and there are so many names, but I really just want to thank all of you for reading my book, for commenting on my book, for watching these videos, for liking these videos, for any little bit of effort you've made to help me. I am truly grateful for you. I thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I really wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. I've learned so much from so many of you, and I know 2023 is going to be even bigger. It's going to be even better. As always, guys, it's so important that you're subscribed. Help share everything that I'm doing. Help share everything that I have done, and help share what's coming. With you sharing, it'll be so much better for me to expand. So please make sure you're hitting that subscribe button. Make sure you're sharing with your friends, and I can't wait to give you a lot more very soon. As always, guys, thank you so much. Happy holidays, happy reading, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.